What's up, everybody? Perry here, my right. Like I said in our Parasite review, Eric's not here. It's really disappointing for him, mostly because he really wanted to talk to you guys about the Lighthouse. I don't know when he's gonna see it, but whenever he does, I will drop a link of his Letterboxd review. So make sure that you look out for that if you want to hear his thoughts on it. But guys, the Lighthouse is here. I mean, holy shit, we've waited so long for this film to come out. And just like Parasite, we thought it was going to come out earlier, and lo and behold, it did not come out as early as we thought. And it got pushed back by weeks, and we had to wait, and fucking finally, here it is. The Lighthouse, which is written by Max and Robert Edgers, so his brother co-wrote this with him, and it's directed by Robert Edgers.
Yeah.
And it stars, of course, Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, two phenomenal actors. And guys, a lot like Parasite, this is another film that you really just can't ignore the hype. I mean, this got like, what was it, like a 10-minute standing ovation at Cannes or whatever. Yeah. Does it still have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes?
No, because critics are stupid and it only has a 93%.
Oh my god, that's awful. I mean, whatever, a 93% isn't bad, but like, I can't.
But
I mean,
Get
what
Out
kind of
can get 100%, but this can't.
Yes, yeah, that to me is ridiculous. Because like, how can you give a rotten review to the Light? Like, who was the asshole who gave the Lighthouse a fucking rotten review? Like, that makes no damn sense to me.
I will find them. And I will kill them.
Okay, Liam Neeson. So guys, we went to go see the Lighthouse. We saw Parasite first and then the Lighthouse. So we're pretty fresh off the Lighthouse, and we walked out of the theater no more than like an hour ago. And guys, holy shit, this movie is insane. This movie is absolutely insane in the best possible way that I could ever imagine. It's dark, it's morbid, it's thematically rich, it's fucking psychologically just profound. I mean, let's just start with the performances. They're both incredible. I mean, Robert Pattinson absolutely kills it in this film, because at first I thought the obvious standout was going to be Dafoe. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, Dafoe's really killing it here, but as the film progresses, it's like, holy shit, Pattinson had to really deliver on a lot of different angles, and he really nailed it. I'm going to be really upset if both these actors don't get nominated for their awards, because they both should definitely be getting nominated. Definitely. One for Best Lead Actor, one for Best Supporting Actor at least, because holy shit, they were both extremely convincing in their roles. And I mean, beyond that, like, they have to learn how to speak a certain way too in this film, especially Dafoe. I mean, Robert Pattinson too, he has his own like dialect or whatever, but Dafoe, like, he has to master that sailor, like, pirate kind of voice. And it's so, like, I honestly don't think you could have casted this movie any better, especially when it comes to Dafoe.
Definitely.
I mean, just a role that seems like he was born to play, and he absolutely kills it in this film, and so does Pattinson. They both just give excellent performances. And again, like, what's another thing that's absolutely stunning about this film? The direction and the camera work, and even the sound design. Like, I have to really just talk about all the aesthetics together, because all of the aesthetics are absolutely excellent. The sound design, again, is incredible, especially with some of the scenes that you get in the third act. Like, the sound design is kind of what makes certain scenes absolutely powerful. And, beyond that, the camera work is just absolutely stunning. I mean, the aspect ratio is like, it's like this. Yeah. And, to be able to frame an entire film using that kind of aspect ratio, it's a different kind of task. And it's beautiful. Pretty much every frame of this is absolutely stunning. And, this is just, the aesthetics to this film are absolutely incredible. I absolutely loved it. The performances are just fantastic. And honestly, some of the best performances I've seen all year besides Joaquin Phoenix and Joker. But, if Joker didn't come out, this would easily be, like, the best performances all year. Yeah. And again, like, besides that, this film, the imagery that is portrayed in this film is just, it's nuts, man. You've never seen really anything like the way this film portrays the imagery in this. It is something else, and it just feels so otherworldly. Like, after this film was done, you just, like, you felt like you were just transported into a whole different fucking world and atmosphere. And, again, like, the overall mood, atmosphere, and aesthetic of this film is incredible, and you have to give huge thanks to Robert Eggers for being able to craft this kind of film in this way. And yeah, just wow. There's so much about this film to really love and appreciate. And I guess with that, I'll hand over to Perry.
Yeah, I absolutely love this film. The Witch, which Robert Eggers' first
That's
film, that's one of my favorite horror films of all time. Top 5 for sure.
I can definitely see that.
And much to my surprise, I love The Lighthouse even more than The Witch.
Oh, shit.
I can honestly say...
I can see why, man.
This is the best film I have seen all year.
Holy shit,
And
really?
I feel very comfortable calling it a masterpiece.
Holy shit.
Yep. I'm sorry, Climax. You are dropping down to number 2.
Damn.
I absolutely love this film from beginning to end. Like, this film is honestly just unsettling from start to finish. I was so terrified throughout this film. And it's not scary in the traditional sense of a horror film. It's horrifying in the sense of, okay, the performances are very unsettling. The cinematography and the way it's shot is very unsettling. And just a, like, shitty situation that you see Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe in, it's like, you just know that this is not going to end well at all.
And just the way that the themes are portrayed are really unsettling, too. Like, it's just disturbing and thought-provoking the way that the themes were portrayed in this film. And it's just like, I don't know, it's a really wowing piece of filmmaking, I'll tell you that.
And the picture ratio, it only adds to the claustrophobic, cabin fever-esque horror that Robert Eggers was going for. And there's so much to read into in terms of theme. Like, you hear how simplistic the plot is, and you're like, oh, well, this is gonna be very straightforward, and I'm not gonna have a lot to take away. But there is a lot to take away from this film, not from a technical level, but like we're talking about a thematic level. One theme that I noticed Robert Eggers explored in The Witch, and he also explores in The Lighthouse, is sexual repression.
Oh, definitely.
That was definitely a huge overarching theme. Oh, well.
Yep.
It'll add to the atmosphere. Like Carlos said, the performances are absolutely incredible. Like, you think Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio have great chemistry in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They don't even compare to the chemistry that Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe have in this film. They play off each other so well. Like you said, they couldn't have casted this film any better. I just thought this film was brilliant from start to finish. The cinematography is incredible, and I love the fact that it was shot in black and white, because it really makes you feel like you're in the time period that the film is set in, which I believe is the 1800s. I could be wrong on that.
Maybe I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it's the 1800s. And from start to finish, you don't even feel like you're watching a film that was made in 2019. You feel like you're in that time period. Yeah,
that's another thing too. Like, this film does not feel like you just said, like it's made like today. Like, it's just the way that the whole aesthetic approach and the production design and everything else, it feels like definitely a movie that was somehow filmed in the 1800s, because it's just that well done. Especially with the aspect ratio, I think it really helps you. It really helps you immerse you into that feeling that this is a really old style approach to filmmaking, but at the same time, just adding something so new. Adding something so new, to the film game as well. And I mean, I don't know, guys. This was a really, really breathtaking film, and I mean, I don't know, like, there's not really much that I disliked about it, really.
I can't find anything. Like, I think about it so much, and I can't really find any aspect I thought was weak.
I mean, I don't know. I guess, like, one thing that I can say somewhat is that I think, like, the first, like, 30 minutes of this, wasn't like the most engaging for me. Like there were a lot of times where I was engaged, but I feel like this definitely starts out as a slow burn film, and that's like not a bad thing or anything. Like The Witch, almost the entire thing is like a big long slow burn, and it didn't bother me or anything. But like the slow burn aspect of like the first 30 minutes, I don't know, like I thought it was good, but I felt like maybe it could have just done a bit more to keep me engaged, because there were times where, like, you know, I was questioning whether or not, like, oh, is this film really going to be all that amazing as you know, everybody's saying it is. But to be honest though, like I pretty much forgot about that shit once the film starts really rolling, like, because for me, like, the second and third act is so fucking gripping and so thematically rich and just so profound and morbid, and it was unlike anything I've really ever seen. That, I don't know, it was something that it's kind of hard to criticize it for, because I understand why it was going with that kind of, you know, slow burn approach in the beginning. But, you know, if I'm just being a little honest, I do think that, you know, maybe it could have just done maybe a little more to keep me engaged, because I wasn't 100% engaged in everything that was happening in the first 30 minutes, like, if I'm just being honest. But, like, other than that, like, I really don't have any issue with this, because, you know, there's a lot of shots in this film, and really just a lot of scenes in this film in general, that, you know, you have to interpret on your own, because, like, certain tense situations lead up to something, and the way that big thing is shot, you know, you don't really know what to make of it, because you're just like, was that fucking real, or was that like again, kind of like Joker, even though it's a whole different fucking film, it comes off very nightmarish and dreamlike, and you kind of don't know sometimes what's real and what's not. And, you know, that wasn't a problem with me, you know, for me at all. But I will say, I think that, you know, casual moviegoers will not take to this film very well.
No, not at all.
I mean, it'll take a special kind of casual to really like this film a lot.
Yeah.
This is definitely more geared towards film lovers, and just, you know, their kind of perspective that they already have on film. Because, I don't know, like I said, like, even the first 30 minutes for me seemed a bit, like, slow and not as engaging as I wanted it to be. So I could only imagine a casual trying to get through it. And even then, like, even in the second act and third act that I thought was pretty much perfect, I can even still see them just not really taken to it, because it's not conventional in almost in any sense at all. It's not a conventional film by any means.
Yeah, it's so strange, because like Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, it's like, yes, they technically it's a work relationship, but at the same time it feels like a toxic, like, relationship, you know, like just between two guys instead of a guy and a girl.
Yeah.
Because it's like they can't stand each other, but at the same time they need each other, and that just makes for some really interesting character development and plot development, and you're just waiting to see how their relationship expands. And I personally didn't mind the first 30 minutes, because I thought the character development was very well paced, and I love the slow burn aspect of it. Because, like, all of my favorite horror films, like The Shining and The Witch, they're all slow burns, you know. They take their time. And that's what I hate about a lot of modern filmmaking is, oh, we have to be fast. We have to give them everything they want in the first 10 minutes, otherwise they're going to tune out. No, that is the wrong direction to go. And this film goes in the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, the climax of this film is insane.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. Like, I hate to call it orgasmic.
I can see why you say that,
but it did feel that way to me.
I think the film was supposed to kind of make you feel that way.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
that's a big theme. A big theme of the film. It has to do with, like you said, about sexuality and stuff. And I feel like the climax of this film does kind of give off that vibe, but in a more, like, sinister, morbid kind of way.
Yeah.
But, I mean, guys, the whole aesthetic approach to this third act, the climax, is incredible. Like, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I could see a casual moviegoer watching it and just being like really underwhelmed by it and being like, "What the fuck?" Like, this, it gave me nothing. Like, I could see casuals being like, "This film didn't give me enough," but like for me, it was just like, it was much more than enough. It just went over the top, and I really, really, I loved the entire approach that it had. It's just really, really well done.
And it was so restrained until it wasn't, you know?
Yes,
like
exactly.
It was so well disciplined. You're like, okay, this is a slow burn horror. But of course, all the crazy shit's just gonna happen in the last 20 minutes. Yeah. It's like, no, it gives you little tidbits and it builds.
Yeah.
It doesn't just give you all in the last 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, just boring character exchange, and then everything goes nuts in the last 20 minutes.
No,
this film does
like
not do that.
Nope. Not at all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know what else to say but the fact that I really thought this was a fantastic piece of filmmaking, and I really, really loved it. Just across the board, every aspect of this film was absolutely incredible. Much like Parasite, you know, believe the hype on this one. The hype is absolutely fucking real. You know, if you're a film lover, you know, if you're casual, you know, I'm not trying to single you guys out or anything, but this is not, I mean, unless you're feeling treacherous and you just want to see what, you know, the whole buzz is about, then go ahead, you know, take a shot and you might like it. But for the most part, I just really don't think casuals are going to take much to this film. It's not made to really please what they would expect out of a horror thriller kind of film.
Yeah.
But, you know, to me, this film is damn near perfect. It's an absolutely incredible piece of filmmaking. And, I guess I'll go ahead and give my grade. I'm going to give The Lighthouse a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. So what you gave Joker?
Yeah, so what I gave Joker.
But would you put this over Joker?
Wait until the end of the year and find out on my list. How
okay. Okay.
on my fucking best of the year video. Best of the year video.
Like I said, this shattered my list. I think this is the best film I've seen all year. And it's one of my... I've only seen it once, and it's already one of my favorite horror films. I'm putting it in my top 5 favorite horror films of all time. I feel safe calling this a masterpiece, and I'm calling it now. It is cinematic perfection in my book. I know
the creme de la creme.
The creme de la creme that I've been seeking for so long. And now that we've seen this, we're like, where do we go from here? Because everything else, nothing's going to compare to this movie.
We just went ahead and blew our load too early.
Yeah, literally, because at the end, I'm like, oh.
It's true though. Like now, it's like, what do we have to look really for? I mean, we have Uncut Gems, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a great film, but it's like, I don't know. I just felt like we just watched 2 of the year's best films back to back, and I don't even know. Like everything else is gonna just seem like crap or something from this point.
It'll seem like, oh, that was okay.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I've never done this before in the history of this channel, but I'm doing it tonight. I am giving Robert Eggers' The Lighthouse a 10 out of 10. There you go. Man. Finally. There you go.
Well, there you go, bro.
Perry finally likes a movie after all this time of just crapping on everything and occasionally liking one movie review.
I'm happy, man. I'm happy you finally fucking found a film that you love so much that you're willing to give it that perfect score.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I mean, I give Climax a 10 out of 10. I think that's fucking flawless fucking movie, but... I mean, I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. I'm not usually that kind of person that says, oh, you know, with time and with more with more viewings, I'll give it a higher grade. But I mean, I don't know. With this one, I might, because maybe the first act will maybe not bother me as much. So I don't know. I mean, I doubt it, but it's possible. Because I'm definitely going to be watching this film a lot after this. I don't know if I'll watch it again in theaters, but I'm definitely going to be watching it a lot.
Oh, I got to see it again in theaters. I'm going to go watch it again on Saturday.
That's awesome. I might check it out one of these days. Before it leaves theaters, maybe. I'll see if I can catch it on the big screen again. But, yeah, either way, it's an absolutely breathtaking piece of filmmaking, guys. And I finally satisfied Perry's creme de la creme craving. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's it, guys. We finally saw The Lighthouse. That was definitely the big film of the year that we were all waiting for. And definitely did not disappoint.
Not at all.
It was absolutely incredible, and I hope the Oscars gives it its fair due this year, because in my opinion, it deserves to be nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Director, even Best fucking Screenplay. I mean, come on.
Cinematography, too.
Cinematography. Even maybe sound design,
Sound design, sound mixing.
Yeah. It honestly should be nominated for pretty much fucking everything.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll be really lucky to even just get one. And I hope that it at least gets nominated for Best Actors, you know, for both of them, hopefully.
The only one I could see it not getting nominated for is, like, production design, because it's such a bare-bones film.
Yeah.
It's very minimalist, but, you know, that's what adds to the ambiance.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe if we get lucky, it'll get nominated for Best Picture. Hopefully. I mean, I think it's an obvious, like, no-brainer. But you know the Academy, they're a bunch of fucking paid-off snobs who don't know anything about the art of filmmaking. So
look at all the backlash Joker's got, and that doesn't even have a fresh rating anymore.
That's ridiculous. Because that, honestly, in my opinion, deserves to be nominated for Best Picture too.
Yeah.
But you know that's most likely not going to happen. Joaquin Phoenix definitely should be getting nominated, though. They can't.
He
snub
should
him.
win. He should win.
No, I mean I fucking called it in the Joker review. I think he is gonna win. I think that's a lock. I mean that's an easy choice.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm just like the Academy. I have no doubt that they're gonna nominate him, but I have just a little bit of doubt that they will pick him to win, just because of how fucking stuck up they are about. Yeah. Their like presuppositions about the film's messages and all that bullshit. But whatever, I can only hope that they'll do the right thing and actually give it to the person with the merit, but Academy don't give a fuck about merit. So
the Best Director category is going to be insane, because I kid you not, Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Bong Joon-ho is probably going to get it.
He is definitely getting nominated. Robert Eggers better get a nomination.
So if those three are in it, like, wow.
It's going to be a crazy category if they're in it.
But, yeah, guys, I guess that's it. Those were our thoughts on The Lighthouse. I'll definitely drop a link below for Eric's review on Letterboxd whenever he gets that out. Hopefully he gets that out ASAP so you guys can go and, you know, give him a like on his little review, because he was dying to fucking watch this movie and talk about it. So, unfortunately, he couldn't. But that's it. That's all we had to say about The Lighthouse. You don't want to add anything?
No,
that's
good.
It. That's it. You got all of it out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we got to say about The Lighthouse, guys. If you really enjoyed what we had to say, please give this video a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film-related content.